A bald eagle slammed onto the 4th of July parade float like a hurled spear, feathers flaring, talons grinding into painted wood. Main Street froze. Sparklers hissed out. A balloon drifted upward, forgotten. The eagle's wings shook violently, not with aggression but with raw, electric panic, his chest heaving as if every breath hurt. He wasn't attacking. He was desperate. Dylan Reyes, working parade security, spotted it instantly. The tremor in the bird's stance. The way his eyes kept jerking past the crowd, toward the river hidden behind the storefronts. Distressed behavior, urgent and deliberate. The eagle lurched forward and stabbed its beak in that direction again. And again. Each thrust was sharper than the last, cutting straight through the brass band's music. Someone laughed nervously. Someone whispered, "What's he doing?" Dylan's stomach dropped. Something, or someone, down by the river was in trouble. And this eagle was trying to force them to see it. Dylan grabbed his radio. "Jordan? Behind Main Street. No. Whatever he's showing us. It's urgent." Jordan Hale arrived beside him, breath tight from weaving through spectators. She had years of raptor rescue under her belt, and fireworks season always nodded her gut. "Why would a wild eagle land in a crowd?" she murmured. "Because he needs us to see something," Dylan said. The bird hopped to the edge of the float, wings half spread, posture pleading. A small plume of feathers near his shoulder was charred at the tip, evidence of a brush with fireworks heat. A vulnerable mark on an animal built for the sky. Dylan and Jordan pushed through the last row of spectators and slipped into the service alley behind Main Street. The eagle didn't follow. He only tracked them with burning, restless eyes. Each time they slowed, his cries sharpened and rose in pitch. He was urging them on. Soon the town vanished behind them, replaced by roaring water and jagged stone. Clearwater River roared white and vicious, swollen with mountain runoff. Dylan's boots skidded on loose gravel. Cold spray hit his face. They scanned the shoreline. Debris piles, driftwood shelves, slick boulders. Dylan's mind raced with possibilities. A fallen kayaker, a kid swept downstream, a firework cache igniting near the brush line. Still nothing. Then Jordan's breath hitched. "There," she said, pointing beneath a wedge of driftwood jammed against the bank. Something twitched beneath it, feathers soaked and plastered flat. Jordan dropped to her knees, sliding down the embankment. The moment she saw the shape, the air punched out of her. Dylan followed, heart thudding. A second bald eagle lay half submerged, pinned by driftwood and the river's pull. Her left wing was twisted outward at an impossible angle. Mud streaked her chest. Water beaded along her feathers and dragged at her tail with every surge. Her talons scraped desperately for purchase, slipping every time. A small firework casing, red, white, and blue, was lodged in the mud nearby, its edges scorched. The burned plume on the male's flank suddenly made perfect sense. "She got clipped by debris," Jordan said quietly. "Wing trauma. Early hypothermia. She's going fast." Above them, a piercing cry split the air. It was Alder, a huge male well known to local birdwatchers. Alder had abandoned the parade and circled straight overhead, sweeping wide arcs over the riverbank. His voice was wild anguish, calling to a mate who could not answer. Jordan tossed Dylan the raptor blanket and leather gloves. "Pin the wings. Careful with the talons." Dylan steadied himself, remembering with a sharp ache the eagle he'd watched die years ago. He would not let this happen again. He reached in. The injured female thrashed weakly, hissing in pain, the river tugging harder with each surge. Jordan spoke softly, close to her head. "Easy, girl. Stay with us." The male swooped lower, shadow hammering across them. His talons flexed, but he held back, trembling with helpless fury as they worked. Dylan pressed the good wing gently against the bird's body. Jordan slid her arms beneath the injured wing, bracing against the current. For a terrifying moment, the driftwood shifted, and the eagle slipped deeper toward the river's throat. Jordan's knee slammed into rock. She swore under her breath. The female's head lolled. Jordan gathered everything she had, leaned back and heaved. Together they lifted the eagle free. The current tore the driftwood away in a flash. Jordan and Dylan held on until they could lower her into the carrier and wrap her tight in the blanket. Her body was feather-light. Exhausted, but alive. Alder launched himself into the air. When they sprinted back toward the rescue truck, he followed, gliding low, wings carving through the heat above the pavement. Main Street fell silent as the truck rolled through. People watched, mouths parting as the massive eagle flew beside the windshield like a solemn escort. Phones rose. Hands pressed against hearts. Even the brass band faltered into a trembling sustain. Alder did not break formation once. At the ranger outpost, Jordan hustled the carrier inside. Dylan opened the door for her. Alder landed on the roof with a thud, talons gripping metal. He paced immediately, left, right, left, never taking his eyes off the window. Inside the cramped infirmary, heat lamps warmed the steel table. Jordan laid the injured eagle gently atop it and slid thermal packs beneath her. She spoke calmly to herself as she moved, temperature, heart rate, airflow, her hands steady even as her eyes shone with worry. Dylan stood near the window. Every few seconds, a shadow passed over the light as Alder leaned forward, scanning the room below. The female's breathing deepened. Her wing shivered once, but the splint held. Jordan applied ointment, adjusted bandages, and leaned back only when the bird's eyelids fluttered. A thin chirp escaped her. Alder answered instantly. A soft, trembling whistle filtered through the roof, nothing like the screams from the river. This one was gentle, intimate. A reassurance call is used only between mates or chicks. Jordan stilled, chest tight. She knows he's here, she whispered. Dylan looked toward the roof. And he's not leaving until she does. Hours passed. The female rested under the lamps, wrapped in warmth and a faint antiseptic smell. Jordan checked her vitals one more time and stepped back with a long, shaky exhale. She's stable, she whispered. Back in town, people asked the same question over and over. Why did that eagle land on the float? Dylan returned to Main Street. Confetti glimmered on wet pavement. Folded camp chairs sat abandoned. He walked to the float, placing a hand on the carved wooden eagle at its center. Through the narrow gap between buildings, he could see the riverbank in the distance, exactly where they'd found her. A perfect, elevated line of sight. The realization struck deep. He climbed the float. Dylan murmured, because it was the highest point. He needed us to see where she was. At the outpost, Alder still perched on the roof, unmoving except for the faint rise and fall of his breath. The sun dipped low, painting the canyon in orange and rose. Jordan cracked the blinds. The female stirred, lifting her head weakly. Her eyes found the window. She called, a soft, fragile chirp. Alder leaned forward, talons tightening. He answered with a long, low whistle full of relief. It was a conversation only the two of them understood. Dylan stood in the doorway and whispered. He didn't land to show off. He landed to show us where she was. Jordan nodded, eyes shining. And as the last light faded, the moment settled over them like a quiet truth. A wild eagle had stopped the town's parade.